Hey all, peace and blessings. I'm continuing my demon series, and today I'm going to be talking about Beelzebub. Beelzebub is seen as a giant fly, but in all honesty, the mythology behind Beelzebub is so, what's the word I'm looking for? Wrong. Beelzebub was a Philistine god back in the day in the city of Ekron, and in the Bible, he was depicted in the Old Testament as being a false god. Then in the New Testament, his name was changed, and he was now seen as a demon. You have to really understand something with the Goetia spirits is that they are actually ancient gods. Some of them are Canaanite gods, some of them are from the Sumerian culture, some of them are even from ancient Egypt, and they have done a good job in the Bible to miswrite these spirits as now demons. And my job here is to give you the real deal on how they work, but also not trying to fluffer any truth, because demons are beneficent and benevolent. So they can cause a lot of chaos and mayhem, and they can also bring in kindness. It's all about duality here. So what Beelzebub is said to do in the Goetia is to set demons upon men to destroy them with vices. Now Beelzebub can do that. Beelzebub can create a lot of mental anguish for anybody who is creating opposition for you, anybody who he feels needs to justifiably be dealt with. So there is somebody trying to cause harm in your way, and that harm is for no reason, in which you have done anything wrong to them. Then that is when Beelzebub can take action. And what Beelzebub can do is create a lot of mental disdain on people, create mayhem mentally. But a lot of it is honestly just exploiting their own vices. So it's not that he's going to bring in vices, it's more of what Beelzebub does really well is to get people to understand their own psychology. For the practitioners, so for you who would be working with Beelzebub, what he'll actually do is help you understand your own mental roadblocks, your own mental limitations, your own mental barriers. If you have any sort of subconscious fears, he's gonna get you to understand it. He's gonna make you question, where does this come from? Some of the fears that we have, like for example, the fear of heights, the fear of drowning, these might come from past lives, and Beelzebub will guide you toward understanding it. Self-limitation too, self-limiting beliefs. Beelzebub doesn't want that for us. Beelzebub wants us to be in our highest state of mind, but he's gonna show you, it's almost like just how fake a lot of the stuff that we think is true really is, and he laughs at it. So Beelzebub is a trickster. He is going to question the way in which you think. He tends to like almost like shapeshift a lot, and he's kind of like, I don't know what he's associated with in the traditional Ars Goetia. To me, I see him as a mercurial energy because of his way to shapeshift and get you to question your own psychology, and the way in which he will make himself look scarier than he really is if you give him fear. But if you approach him with respect, if you understand his purpose, if you are able to look beyond the images, beyond the symbology of these images, then you are able to understand that he's actually here to help people get into a mental clarity, to a mental state of higher consciousness, being able to tap into their own divine essence. But the mind is very powerful. In Hermetics, we are taught that the universe is mental, all is mind. And you can have all the magical power in the world. You can be able to do all the rituals in the world. You can have like the coolest spirit guides protecting you, the greatest demons protecting you, the strongest angels protecting you. But if you do not have the mental discipline, if you are still succumbed to fear, if you are not able to mentally match these energies, then you're not going to be able to go forward. If you have a lot of strength, it does not matter if your mind isn't right. And what Beelzebub does is tries to get your mind right. He is going to question why you think the way you think. He is going to ask you, why do you feel like certain things, for example, like wealth is so far outside of you, and where does this come from? You do want to be in a meditative state when you talk to Beelzebub, or be in a state of journaling, because he's going to say a lot, and he's going to make you go into these paths within your mind to be able to take out, unblock, undo, revisit, and see again. For example, when I first started working with the Ars Goetia demons, I was terrified. I always say that to people. I was scared. I didn't understand them too much. And Lucifer was the first spirit guide that came to me from the Ars Goetia. Then from there, I saw others, but I was still kind of afraid. And then Beelzebub had to come in. Beelzebub had to come in as the messenger, as the one who made me think, Why do I have so much fear against him? Why do I have so much fear against the demons? Where does my resistance comes from? And Beelzebub was the one who started making me understand that these are just guides. And in the same way that the universe has angels and demons within us because we are reflections of the universe, we have dark and light. Beelzebub is the devil's advocate, but we have to understand that the devil's advocate's role is just to make us question certain ideas that we hold on to way too hard. All right. Beelzebub likes coffee. Beelzebub likes pastries. He definitely likes coffee. He likes cigars too. Coffee, cigars, pastry, sweets. That's what I'm getting immediately. He likes like things with honey, things with agave too. Mostly honey though. So this is now going into the more raffle side of Beelzebub. Beelzebub, think of him as like things that can spread. So if you want to get your name across, Beelzebub can do that. If you want to get your name across to people who are slandering your name, Beelzebub can do that. If you want the truth said, so let's say somebody's slandering your name, somebody's spreading false information about you, Beelzebub can be there to bring all of that falsity to an end. And it'll be dramatic and it will be a public expose. So let's say, for example, somebody is publicly trying to tarnish your name. Beelzebub will bring out the truth about that person in a very public setting and a very public sense. What I'm hearing is I don't work on anybody's mind with anything that is outside of them. So if somebody has a lot of insecurities and is creating opposition in your life, Beelzebub is going to exploit those insecurities. If somebody is a cheater and let's say you know, and they're hiding it really well, Beelzebub will make sure that that's exploited. So Beelzebub brings in people's shadows and truths into light. And that is where I think is really cool about him is that he protects your social reputation, he protects your social name, and if there is enough proof, of course, because nothing can be made up here, then he can tarnish other people's names. He can tarnish other people's reputations. If, again, somebody is saying anything about you that isn't true, Beelzebub can be there to switch it up. Beelzebub can bring in a lot of mental anguish to people who have fears and create them as like bigger than what they are. Beelzebub can, I don't know how much I can say here, but he can lead somebody to mental ruin. So you have to be careful with you're gonna invoke him, and you have to be very intentional with like what you're setting. You can literally send somebody into like mental ruin and mental disdain where like they're like kind of far gone. And you have to ask yourself, is that worthy? And is that justified? Because even though these spirit guides can do that for you, you have to wonder, okay, I'm the one who asked. I'm the practitioner here. So Beelzebub ain't in trouble. You're in trouble. All right. That's just a little bit about Beelzebub. I'm trying to see if there's any messages. I'm gonna pull some cards. For some reason, I feel like pulling some tarot cards right now. Beelzebub is telling me I want freedom. I want freedom in people. I want people to be free. I want people to live how they're supposed to live. I want people to be how they're supposed to be. I want people to remember who they were as children and to become re-embodiments of that. I'm only here to create mental freedom for those who are trying to bring freedom for others. Those who try to restrict others and to create mental dominion over others. That is when I attack. That is when I have to do my own work. I have to give them a taste of their own medicine. So okay, let me pull some cards. That's the message that I just got right now. And even right now, I'm trying to like see if there's anything more. And he's like, why are you trying to sound perfect? Why are you trying to sound right? Just flow. So again, that's Beelzebub just calling me out. Like he'll call you out on your mind. We have the Three of Cups and the Death card. Beelzebub is going to show you too who's like really your friend and who's not. The Three of Cups deals with friendship and the Death card deals with like fake friendships. Beelzebub is going to show you how people can be usury, how people can be fake, how people can be manipulative. He's going to be able to expose liars for you very quickly. And he's also going to show you how to be able to still use people who have those sort of like manipulative tendencies for your benefit. You'll still be able to maneuver through them and around them with your own benefit in mind. All right, so there's a little bit about Beelzebub. Okay, he wants me to take out 2 more cards. We have the 5 of Cups and the 4 of Cups. Beelzebub has said to be dealt with the moon. I still don't really see that, but when I'm looking at these cards, these are all cup cards and they're dealing with water. What I'm just picking up on is like understanding like what is really your higher purpose and what really is your truth. The Five of Cups deals with like sadness. If you don't know your soul purpose, I think Beelzebub is going to help you with that. And the Four of Cups is like the understanding of like, hey, like there's an opportunity you're missing here. Beelzebub wants you to be your real self and to shed away your false self. And Beelzebub is even gonna make you question like, okay, these desires that I want, do I want them for ego or do I really want my truth? Like, or is this part of my truth? Beelzebub wants you to be in your godliness, in your godhoodness, in your goddessness, but the only way for you to be there is to let go of the false self, to strip away that, and that is when you find your true power. Beelzebub also likes games like board games, checkers, chess, things of that sort. Beelzebub likes anything that involves like, honestly, these demons are like well read, so like he likes reading. He'll recommend you books that deal with human psychology, that deal with like personal, finding your personal freedom, your personal liberation, your personal truth. Beelzebub will put you in the right people with the right in the right places as well. He's all about like reassociation, but first we have to like strip away the false self. That's the biggest message that I'm getting. He can also make you popular and famous because remember, things that spread like flies. Like he can get your name across to people. He can get your name across to things. He can bring about new opportunities for you as well. You just have to play the long game with them because he is very loyal, but he also wants company. He wants friendship. So, he can be loyal to you. You just have to make sure that you're also loyal to him as well. And you have to see him for who he really is. He's not here just to cause wrath. He is here to do both. He's here to, discipline those who are trying to have mental dominion over others, but also liberate those who need to connect to their higher selves because they have a greater purpose at hand. All right? That was a little bit about Beelzebub. Thank you for tuning in. My name is AstroPapi. More demon videos to come. If you want to follow me on social media, the links are about below. And if you want to get a personal reading from me, a personal spiritual consultation, how to do so is in the about below. If you follow me on Instagram, I do occasional live tip-based readings. And once I hit 1,000 here, I'll probably do like some live tip-based readings here every once in a while. All right? Stay beautiful, stay abundant, stay great, y'all.